Hey folks, it's 20th October 2023. I'm Travis D. Semora from Texas, and I talk to you about reality awareness and transformative goals in relative to what's going on in the world. We need to be aware of what's going on and be able to be prepared mentally and physically to react to whatever happens. And I don't go into heavy prepping or like military style combatives or all that. I'm talking more about mental preparation and practical things, very practical. Okay, you may live in an urban area or live out in the country like I do. You know, I can garden and do that kind of stuff, or you may be in an urban area. So I kind of go over all that in a number of videos. I'm going to show you my outline, show you my video channel, and let's take a look at it and be mentally prepared. Okay, give me a second. I'll change screens. Okay, folks, Travis D. Semora here again from Texas. And as I go through the videos, I'm going to start out with the Reality Awareness Group Transformative Action Goals. They call it RAGTAG, where we're trying to move from uncertainty to clarity and from fearful to determined and confident. Okay, and this is my outline I've been using since August. And I start off with a scripture, Philippians 4:13 in particular. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. So kind of keep that in the back of your mind as we look through this stuff. You know, what are we looking at? You know, the struggles are real in this world. You know, before it was just Ukraine and Russia, and they were threatening nuclear war, and you know, a lot of different things like that. And there's China, and there's also the WHO, World Health Organization, and the WEF, not WEF, WEF, World Economic Forum. They're talking about reducing population and control and central bank currency and health card certificates that you have to do anything. All that creates chaos, you know. So how to be prepared to meet social disorder and understanding chaos and coming out of disorder. Years ago, I saw a think tank conversation about 20 years ago, or at least 15, and they were talking about how long does it take for a country to recover, and have order restored, where you have people working, you have income, and you have your social services. And they said 3 to 6 months after a country's taken over, or it could be 6 to 9 months, depending on what kind of activity happened. So no matter what happens, eventually it'll get restored to some kind of order. You know, and then one of my videos is on nuclear war reality versus myth. There's a lot of myth about what happens if a nuclear device goes off, or even several of them. It's not going to be a nuclear winter. That's not going to happen. If you're not in the kill zone and you're not injured, you have a high probability of surviving with no injury. So, and in the videos I talk about Faraday protection and all that. Talk about communications in another one. You know, the cell phones, satellite phones are great, but what if the Chinese in space take out the satellites? So radio communications, protected radio communications like ham and GMRS is what we call, it's just a notch up from a CB radio. It's handheld, they're also called family radios. Some of them hit repeaters. So if the repeaters are still up, it's something that where you can communicate quite a distance. I was on my GMRS radio, and I was hearing guys 20 miles away talking, but we were all hitting a high-level repeater close to where I'm at. Solar panels to charge things and all that. And I talk about financial preparation, food storages, gardening, and I'm going to show you a quick picture. This is my current garden. Okay, and I've got a lot of young plants, and some stuff hadn't even come up yet. It's October 2023. The big plants are broccoli, and I've got some cabbage and cauliflower, and some of the plants are younger. You can't see it really in this picture, but I have turnips coming up, and those rows will produce some things where we can eat for a couple of months pretty good if nothing bad happens. I had that happen last year. This is my fall 2022 garden, and the big plants on the right are broccoli and cauliflower, that kind of thing, and the green stripe in the middle, the bigger plants, are turnips. And it was looking good. I said, okay, we're going to have a good garden. And then we had a dry freeze, and this is what my garden looked like after that. It got down to 15 degrees or something. There was no snow or ice to encapsulate the plants, and they just froze, and they were DRT, dead right there. The year before, we had snow and ice covered the same plants, about the same size, and that snow and ice provided some insulation, and they did not die. They were not harmed at all. But this, that dry freeze we had got them. So, those are things to think about when you're gardening. I was raised halfway by my stepfather that was a truck farmer, and he said you're going to have a good crop if you don't get flooded out or have a drought or get hail. So if you don't have any of those three things, or insects, so if you don't get hit with those four things, you're going to have a great garden. In other words, it's always a chance. So, and some of the other videos I talk about other things, medical support, fuel shortages, community organizing. I'm a community organizer. So when I talk about that, I'm talking about talk to your neighbors. You might be able to share things. Like I've got access to water. My other neighbor may not. I may have a way to get water out of a well. He may not. And different things like that. I may have a garden. I may have some food stored up or whatever. He may not. I've got one neighbor that has a whole bunch of goats. I may have some vegetables I can share with him. He might share some goat meat with me. And then, like if you're in an urban environment, if you know your neighbors and you're in an apartment project or whatever, and there's some water a couple of blocks away that you can use to flush toilets or drink or whatever, you may need to get a group together. So one group, two groups actually, one group garden your houses and your property, other group going with buckets to get water. It's that basic. I spent some time working in Afghanistan, and I saw women carrying water in goat skins. So all these kind of things are real. Take a look at my stuff online, like on Getter. I've got my videos posted. I also have them on my YouTube channel, and I'm just Travis Semora on the YouTube channel, and I've got 10 or 15 videos on there about all this. So take a look at it. Let's get informed, support each other, and be ready for whatever comes. All right? Thank you.